Turning now to new developments out of Northampton, a Holyoke woman has filed a federal civil lawsuit against the city and two police officers after she was pulled out of her vehicle after being pulled over for a busted headlight. It was all caught on video. Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle joins us live in Northampton with the latest details on this lawsuit. Glenn.
Yeah, Chris, that lawsuit has Mary Soldrioche claiming that Northampton police violated her civil rights when they pulled her out of the car last April. The lawsuit also spells out what Drioche claims to be a pattern of Northampton police disproportionately stopping and using force against Hispanic individuals.
Get out of your vehicle right now.
I want the police
out of your vehicle right now.
Police dashcam video obtained by Western Mass News shows a traffic stop in Northampton that has led to a federal lawsuit filed this week by the driver, 61-year-old Marisol Drioche of Holyoke. She claims the city of Northampton and two city police officers, John Sulu and Jonathan Bartlett, brutalized her and violated her federal and state civil rights when she was pulled out of her car in April of 2023 after being pulled over for a broken headlight. Drioche, who is Hispanic, claims in her lawsuit she couldn't understand Officer Sulu when speaking to the officer. Court filings show Drioche's first language is Spanish.
Can I get another unit, please?
Everyone you want, because I am in McDonald's. I go out the McDonald's. McDonald's is behind.
License and registration now.
There's apparent miscommunication between the two, causing tensions to rise, leading to Sulu pulling Drioche out of her vehicle, forcefully pushing her to the ground, and pepper spraying her twice before she was eventually taken into custody.
You're getting straight.
The lawsuit cites a previous federal lawsuit filed in 2015 when a then Northampton Police Lieutenant, Robert Powers, admitted to making discriminatory remarks toward Hispanic people. The lawsuit saying in part, quote, Mr. Powers of the MPD also expressed to colleagues that he had the ability to identify the cars of ethnics, meaning persons of Hispanic ethnicity, based on their modifications. Mr. Powers openly advised fellow police officers and instructed new recruits that they were, quote, good all day long to stop, quote, ethnically modified cars. The lawsuit goes on to claim there was an established traffic stop pattern in the department prior to the incident with Drioche, saying in part, quote, at the time of the plaintiff's arrest, the police in Northampton were more likely to use greater force on non-white individuals during stops and arrests than they used on white individuals. The pattern and practice by officers of stopping and using force disproportionately against Hispanic individuals was known by the city for years before the plaintiff was stopped, but no corrective action was taken to address the problem. We reached out to Drioche's attorney, Dana Goldblatt, for comment on the federal suit filing. In a statement, she tells us, quote, Ms. Drioche filed a suit yesterday in order to obtain compensation for her injuries. She regrets that the city of Northampton did not respond to her presentment letter.
Now, that lawsuit does not spell out a specific dollar figure that Drioche is seeking for penalties. Now, we also reached out to the Northampton City Solicitor's Office for comment, and we have yet to hear back from them. We'll continue to follow the latest developments on this case as we receive it. But for right now, reporting live in Northampton, Glenn Kittle for Western Mass News.
Glenn, thank you for that.